Right now, federal workers are bracing for potential mass layoffs as we enter day 3 of a government shutdown. Now, the White House says thousands of employees are at risk and the cuts could begin today. CBS News correspondent Natalie Brand is at the White House for more on this. So, Natalie, a government shutdown does not typically lead to layoffs. So what do we know, and what legal authority is the president acting on?
Well, the administration appears to be trying to really test the boundaries here, kind of a continuation of the DOGE cuts that we saw earlier this year, and this is already being challenged in court. Now, the administration argues that it has the executive authority to make these decisions, reductions in force, and as of now, we don't have a lot of details or any details about specifically what positions will be targeted, other than the White House saying and the administration saying they're going after areas that do not align with the president's priorities. We may get more information later this afternoon. The White House press secretary is scheduled to brief, but the president has really framed this as an opportunity to go after Democratic agencies and programs. Here's more of what he's had to say.
Well, there could be firings, and that's their fault, and it could also be other things. I mean, we could cut projects that they wanted, favorite projects, and they'd be permanently cut. So you could say, a lot of people are saying Trump wanted this, that I wanted this closing, and I didn't want it. But a lot of people are saying it because I'm allowed to cut things that should have never been approved in the first place.
And a group of unions has already filed a challenge in court over just the threat of firing, saying that there are rules and laws governing a shutdown, worker furloughs, and federal employment, and that this is a violation of that.
The other thing, Natalie, as you know, we've seen some partisan messaging out of federal agencies impacted by the shutdown. Break that down for us.
This is also really unprecedented, Vlad. If you go on to different federal agency websites, you see Democrats being blamed for the shutdown. And yesterday, this kind of took a new turn when some Department of Education employees who had been furloughed realized that their out-of-office responses that were going out over email also kind of included a very partisan tone, saying in part, quote, "Unfortunately, Democrats senators are blocking passage of the funding bill in the Senate, which has led to a lapse in appropriations." Now, some advocacy groups have said that this could be a violation of the Hatch Act, which we know limits certain political activities of federal employees. Ethics experts say, that may be in question since we're not close to a political campaign and certain candidates have not been mentioned. But regardless, this certainly shatters the norms.
It does indeed. Natalie Brand for us at the White House. Natalie, thank you. Happy Friday. All right, our next guest is experiencing the impacts of this shutdown firsthand. Neil Schneider is the treasurer of a local chapter of America's largest federal employee union of government workers. He's based in Denver's Department of Labor, and he joins me now. So thanks so much for making some time for us. Can you just for us explain the current status of day 3 of this shutdown and how it affects you?
Sure. And the effect that I'm having is the same that our union members are having, and that's they're very anxious, they're fearful, they're worried. And the reason for that is we have employees who are working currently for free, and then we have 550,000 others who are furloughed. They don't know when their next paycheck is coming, and that worries them. They don't know what's going on. Not knowing when your next paycheck is going to be is extremely worrisome for anyone in this situation. And, on top of this, people that are not working, they are being used as pawns in political negotiations. And we're talking about civil servants who have dedicated their lives to help others. And what do they get in response? They're getting threats that they're going to potentially lose their jobs permanently. And Vlad, I just don't think that that's right.
Yeah, I mean, so if you could be on the floor of the United States Senate and deliver this message to lawmakers on both sides of the aisle, what would you say to them?
I'd absolutely say that it's time for us to not be divisive. Everyone is saying this. The Congress needs to listen to the people. The people are asking for Congress to come together and work together to do their jobs. Federal workers, they show up every day to do their job, and Congress needs to do their job, work together, and come to a solution, because this is not just hurting federal workers. This is also hurting the American people in several different ways.
Yeah, we all lose, Neil, as you point out, when Congress can't do their job. But you've heard both sides pointing the finger at the other. How do you and how do your members see it? I mean, because eventually someone's going to have to blink in this game that they're playing with all of our lives. And how do you see it? I mean, do you see the point of view of what the Republicans are saying, which is, and the president is saying, which is it's to follow the Democrats, or are the Democrats on sure footing when they say they want to ensure that certain aspects of the Affordable Care Act are maintained?
Sure. I don't think we see it on the union side as a political issue. We see this as our focus is getting federal workers back to their jobs and getting helping the American people. Think about it. The USDA, 50% have been furloughed because of the shutdown. Who's performing food and safety inspections to ensure we're eating safe food? Department of Labor, 75% have been furloughed. That includes OSHA, that includes Office of Workers' Compensation. That's only going to increase injuries. Who's going out there and enforcing safety regulations on hazardous work sites? EPA, 95% have been furloughed. I can't think of an agency or any type of business that can lose 95% of their people and be efficient. It's an impossible task. So I don't see this as a political issue. I see this as it is time for Congress to work together, finally, for the American people and do the job that they've been elected to do.
That's an incredibly important message, and I hope that our lawmakers are listening to you and listening to your members, no matter which side of the aisle they sit on. When you hear some of the things that you point out, for example, food safety, that is critical. That affects everybody in this country. And if they're not able to do their jobs, USDA, then we all suffer for it. Neil Schneider, thank you for your perspective. We really appreciate it, and hope this thing resolves itself very quickly for you and your members.